Florida, but she doubles as a coach. She won a full scholarship to FAMU, which is a historically black college in basketball. Well, at her high school, they had some girls, athletes, where they wanted her to teach these girls lacrosse. First time ever in that school. She was clueless. And she panicked. Vicky, what am I going to do? That's my name. And so she hit the books and she taught the girls lacrosse. I had no idea that this was so ceremonial to your and where it came from. So when I tell her this, she's going to be surprised. But anyway, not only did she teach the girls lacrosse, she won Orlando, Florida, to the top of the state, and she hit the front page of Orlando Sentinel newspaper because she took the girls to the top in lacrosse. So I can't wait to tell her that, wow, you need to know where this came from. So I just wanted to share that with you.
How you doing, guys? Good morning.
Congratulations for being here. The evolution of this sport from the ancestors that you spoke about through the field, through box, and now here we are. It seems like a little bit more like basketball, 5-on-5. As you prepare for Israel today, what is your mindset going into this game? And I have a follow-up question after that.
Yeah, so we didn't have our best game yesterday. I think we definitely got to wipe the slate clean and kind of get back focused on what we came here to do. I think there was a lot of emotions getting played into yesterday's game after a night of World Games and being recognized, and a lot of text messages coming through. And even yesterday with Team Ireland, kind of foregoing coming here and kind of giving us their spot and giving us this opportunity to come. The Irish lacrosse team, and with a couple of their members being there, I think that kind of hit home, and we kind of, like I said, we didn't get off to the best start, and it just kind of steamrolled from there and kind of fell over from there. So we want to get back on track today. We want to show our people why we're here and show each other. We want to play the way we came to play. We want to show people our style of game, and have fun doing it, and with definitely a smile on our face. So today's game's going to be a good one to get back on track. It's going to be a tough game. I think any game here is definitely a tough game where if you don't show up and if you aren't prepared, then you're gonna find yourself in a battle and in a really tight game. So we're definitely going to be focused and trying our best to prepare for the next game and prepare for the next day. We can't overlook any game, but we said it right from the get-go where we want to get better as the tournament goes on. It's a short tournament, so we need to continue to get better. We don't want to be we don't want to be at our high and kind of go through these little roller coasters. We want it to be a steady uphill climb, and so we're playing our best lacrosse, hopefully, for our last game, and for our last game.
Just a quick follow-up. Appreciating what was noted a moment ago about the history and what you guys spoke about, family and its importance. Can you please, each one of you, articulate who and what Oran Lions, because I saw him here yesterday, articulate what and who Oran Lions means to you, to the sport, and quite frankly to the world.
The first word that popped into my head when you asked about Oran is perseverance. He's been a part of our he made our program. He invented the program. He saw an opportunity, for us to show our talents at the world level. Before him, there was maybe a few guys would have played for Team Canada or played for Team USA, but like we alluded to earlier, we are our own sovereign nation, and so playing with our brothers, and taking people from all across all our different territories and reserves. Some of us may not know each other, especially when we first start out in the program with the U19s. you don't know each other. So, bringing everybody together and learning about, learning about each other, that's what Oren means to me. Just perseverance and kind of fighting the fight to get us here and to get us recognized as one.
Yeah, so this is probably my first opportunity here was when I not met Oren, but actually got a chance to be around him and just, see the things that he's doing now and he's done in the past, such as, starting a team like Jammer said. And to me, it's just sovereignty. He's just showing that, we're still here and we could still compete under our own passport. And we should have the opportunity, like any other country or nation, to compete at this level internationally.
Yeah, Oren Lyons is certainly, he's definitely a leader. He's one of my elders in my community from the Onondaga Nation. He's a faith keeper. And a faith keeper is essentially a title holder person within our clan systems. And we have chiefs, clan mothers, and faith keepers. And he represents that. You're essentially selected for that. So when it comes to that, when it comes to culture and language and stuff like that, that's something that's near and dear to my heart. It's who I am. Obviously, we grew up learning our language, and it's because that's our communication to the life around us. So I was always he was always an inspiration to me in that aspect. And as far as fighting for our human rights, obviously. Our treaties and stuff that our confederacy had made with European first contact. He was essentially the information that was passed down to him. It was kind of put in his lap to kind of look after and to entertain. So I always looked up to him in that aspect, and obviously just that as I continued to grow and spend more time with him. Outside of the culture aspect about it, he obviously was one of the very first to go on to college, continue to educate himself in the outside world, to what we kind of refer to as Syracuse University. He was a goalie there, All-American, and that's where I ended up kind of went to school. Going to Syracuse for me was like, playing for the Yankees in baseball. So I was like, and obviously having one of my elders from my community to go there was something. It was an easy pick, and obviously for the rest of the Native Americans that attended that school, and it was something really close. It was like my backyard, right there in Syracuse, New York. So, yeah, he's an inspiration to me. Certainly, one of the biggest things that come to my mind when I think about him is obviously, gentleness. I think that's one of the greatest things that he's taught in me, as far as creating that gentleness within yourself. I think that's one of the greatest things that you can have as a person is, being gentle, being optimistic about things. And it's certainly a pleasure and honor to carry those and to instill them within myself. So.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Best of luck today. There may be a handful of people who still need one-on-ones.
Yeah, so when the list came out, who was going to be a part of this, obviously we, in past tournaments we've been, top 3 in the world, top 4 in the world for a long time. So when we heard that lacrosse was going to be included in the World Games in in the actual World Games, not just lacrosse, but in every sport, it was excitement. It was, an opportunity for us to show what we have at this stage, at this level. And we understand the politics and all that behind it, but to not be included on the list was heartbreaking for a lot of us. It was, it felt like a chance of showing people who we are and what we're about was being taken from us. But the Ireland lacrosse team, backing out essentially and kind of foregoing it and leaving that spot open so that they could fill it with a team, and all the hard work of our media, of our board members, our executive with the Haudenosaunee Nationals, all the hard work in getting us here. So we want to thank the Ireland lacrosse team for sure. a big nyawa and a big thank you for doing that for us and for letting us have this opportunity at this stage.
I just want to make a quick statement too about that, just to kind of add on to Cody's statement. When it comes to just a quick history behind the whole reason why they stepped aside was because back in the early centuries, 1800s, there was a potato famine going on in Ireland, and obviously that connection was tied to indigenous community here in Oklahoma, the Muskogee First Nations, and obviously that whole relationship, and as far as our indigenous people here kind of stepping in, obviously they're going through a struggle during that time with the potato famine, and provided them with food and basically essentials for them to kind of thrive and continue to build themselves back up again. So essentially that's kind of what, at the end of the day, what it kind of showed me as far as them stepping aside Ireland. It showed character, it showed honor, and at the end of the day, it showed respect for that situation that happened in the past, and obviously it being present time here, them stepping aside, that's what they thought and was the best opportunity and best thing to do for themselves for that act in the past. So it's definitely, again, it's an honor and pleasure for them to to take that and to see that friendship to kind of continue on into the future. So I'm excited about that, and as that relationship kind of continue to prosper and be inspirational in that ways. So.
Well, gentlemen, again, thank you for your time. There may be a few people that want some one-on-ones, but thank you for being here. Best of luck in your game today.
Thank you.
Thanks.